Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to cover the process that I go through when creating advertorials. So first things first, one of the main things that I learned after creating my first couple advertorials is how important it is to actually outline and have a rough vision of where you want your advertorial to go and how you want it structured before you even start writing. So here I am using an advertorial for a shower head filter that I created not too long ago, and I am going to use this to walk you through my thought process when creating it. First thing you see is that headline. Is this headline? This new shower filter removes all the harmful chemicals in your shower. Now, since this is the first thing that your customer or viewer is going to see when they land on your advertorial, you have to set the tone for the rest, for everything that comes after this headline. So in this headline, I always make it clear that it's going to be about a product, whatever product you're advertising. In this case, it was a shower filter. So the reader automatically knows that this advertorial is about a shower filter. And then I also create curiosity. So it removes the harmful chemicals in your shower. So me, when I read this, I think, wow, there's harmful chemicals in my shower, and it immediately pulls me in and makes me want to read what comes after the headline. So yeah, first headline, make it clear that you're going to be talking about a product, and also create curiosity and set the tone for the rest of the advertorial. So first section is the introduction. When writing the introduction, I always try to state facts about the problem uh, that we're solving with the product that you're writing about, and build curiosity to keep the viewer engaged and have them want to read through the end. And I'll show you exactly how I build curiosity with this advertorial after we go through the headlines. But for now, I want to cover headlines first because I think that it's super important to. I think it's the important thing behind writing good advertorials. And I'm not saying I write good advertorials. I'm just walking you through what I actually do. So here's the second section: four hidden dangers associated with not using a shower filter. So what I try to do here is state the potential risks that could happen if your viewer does not use your product. And I found that using a list form is, or at least to me, in my opinion, it's super engaging, and it makes you really want to scroll and engage with the content. But that's just my opinion. I think listing your risk or your problems is super effective. So first is the introduction, then stating the potential risk or the problems that come with not using your product. After you state the risk, you state the benefits. So in this case, I use protect yourself and your family with a quality shower filter. And in this section, I stated the benefits that your viewer will gain when using your product. And the point of this, or the reason why I followed up with this section, is because it kind of builds the energy to the point where you are going to introduce your product, which is actually the next section. Next section, introducing your product. So product name, in this case, it's Aqua Cleanse. So Aqua Cleanse, the quality shower filter that removes all the chemicals in your shower. In this section, you pretty much explain how your product works and why it will solve the problem that you described in this section, or the problems. So yeah, next section. What makes Aqua Cleanse so special? So in this section, you have a chance to describe some special features that set your product apart from the rest. And again, I will cover how I did this in this specific advertorial after we finish going through these headlines. Next, so is it worth purchasing? In this section, you pretty much just reassure your reader that this product is worth it, and it doesn't really need to be that long. You just want to address uh, and reassure anyone that might have some doubt in their mind. And last section, where can I purchase? A call to action. You provide a link to the offers page with some scarcity behind it. And again, this to me is super important when creating advertorials. Not sure why that doesn't. Okay. But making sure that your headlines flow naturally and you have an idea of what you're going to write in each section before you even start writing is super important, and I think is what allows you to write good advertorials every time. So now that we covered the outline that I use for this advertorial, we are going to go through actually writing the advertorial. So here you're looking at the finished product. This is the actual advertorial that's currently up and running. And as you can see, same headline. Only new thing is the photo. And if if you put yourself in the perspective of the reader, and this is the first thing that you see when you land on the advertorial, it really makes you curious and forces you to keep reading in a way. And I think that should be the goal for this main area, to or at least it should be the goal for every specific area. So from this section, you want to create curiosity so they can read this section, and then you want to create curiosity in this section so they can read the next, and so on and so on. So let's cover the introduction. So I was going to read each individual thing, but I'll just provide you guys with the link and you guys can do that yourselves. I just want to cover a couple things. First thing is transitions. So after each little paragraph, I always make sure to keep the transitions engaging. And actually, every time I start a paragraph and end it as well, I always try to have those transitions be engaging. So, for example, here, as you may know, uh, pretty much a statement that keeps the reader engaged. These chemicals are highly effective when killing bacteria and keeping your water clean, but they might be causing you serious health issues. This just makes me want to read the next slide and then next paragraph. Chlorine and other harmful chemicals have long been used to disinfect our tap water. So here you're making a statement that's an actual fact. And then, so why is a shower filter so important? It's not like you're drinking water in the shower. And this, again, another statement that keeps the reader engaged. And I always make sure, like I said, to keep each transition engaging and making them want to keep going down the next paragraph and the next paragraph and the next paragraph. So to me, here is how I created the most curiosity in this section. So let's read it. It's a scary fact to think about. In this article, we will cover everything you need to know about these chemicals in your shower, as well as how to protect yourself and your family from them. So the reason why I added this section was to pretty much address the fact that, yeah, this is all very scary, but don't worry, because if you read this article, you will know everything you need to know about these chemicals, and then you will also know how to protect yourself from them. So the purpose behind this little section is to instill in the reader's mind that they should read to the end and that it's going to be worth it if they read till the end. So first section, introducing the problem. So 4 hidden dangers associated with not using a shower filter. So here I used a picture that I searched on Google, and I think it's super engaging when it comes to this headline because it actually is about a TV show here in the United States. It's actually like a news section where they investigate certain things, and I think that this was the perfect picture to add in this section. So, what are the four hidden dangers associated with not using a shower filter? One, showering in bacteria, absorbing chlorine, dry skin, and unhealthy hair, and inhaling harmful chemicals. So, for each of these sections, I always use Google. And I think Google is your best friend, whether it's for writing advertorials or honestly, I think it's for any other problem that you might have. Google or YouTube are your best friends. So, that's exactly where I get most of these facts. So, uh, you may know how important it is to keep your bathroom clean, especially your sink or your toilet, but how about your shower head? Unfiltered shower heads are the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, mold, and other germs. Worst of all, most Americans never clean their shower head, leaving them exposed to bad bacteria and all sorts of diseases. So, like I said, uh, all I do is pretty much go on Google and then put, like for example, showering in bacteria, and I go through all these articles and I try to find inspiration from them and take little bit of pieces from each, and pretty much rewrite them in my own words to the point where it's engaging and it flows with the rest of the advertorial. And that's exactly what I actually did for each of these sections. And yeah, I think that should cover this section. And here I'll give you actually, yeah, let's cover this blue section that I try to keep throughout the whole advertorial, as you can see here and then here. To me, the purpose or the reason behind adding this blue section is for to me it's for those that just completely scroll and literally just don't read any of these things. They probably just read the headlines. But to me, I always try to keep the blue part uh, structured in a way where if you only read the blue part, you will understand exactly what all this is about. So, luckily, your amazing body does an amazing job of protecting you from most of these hidden dangers. However, some of these dangerous chemicals are still being absorbed by your skin, and they are not what you want inside your body. So the thought process behind this specific one was addressing what the reader might be thinking. Like he or she might be thinking, "Oh, I'm showering in bacteria. I'm absorbing chlorine, but nothing's happened to me, and I think my body is strong enough to fight against it." And here you're addressing that, and you're saying that even though yeah your body's protecting you, you do not want these chemicals inside your body. And once again, I tried to make it so that if the only thing they read was these blue parts, they would completely understand what the section before was about. So next section, protecting yourself and your family with a quality shower filter. So you introduce the benefits. So uh, once again, next up, if they didn't read this section and they only read this one, they will understand what all these words were about, right? It's pretty much like a summary of these two sections. So, next up, we'll cover the top four benefits of using a shower head filter and we'll put you in the know. So, the reason why I will put you in the know is because, hey, I'm telling the reader, hey, if you read these next section, you will know what you need to know to protect yourself and your family from the chemicals. So once again, I for all these benefits, I googled each one specifically and gained an inspiration from articles out in the internet. Same thing again. There are a number of actually for this specific part, I tried to build up the energy because I knew what was coming next was the introduction of the product. So there are a number of shower filters on the market today. So you're addressing that there's a lot of different shower filters. It can be hard to choose the right one, but this one in particular is tried and loved by millions around the US. So here you're reassuring that the product that's going to come next is tried and loved by millions, giving it some social proof. So here, next section, introduction. So Aqua Cleanse, a quality shower filter that removes all the chemicals in your shower. And once again, you also want to stimulate the reader with engaging photos. I think photos are super important, and I think that that also is, apart from the copy, is the most important thing that you can add in your advertorial. So once again, same thing, making transitions engaging, providing value, and pretty much describing how the filter works and why it will fix the problems that we mentioned before, right? And here again, we have the blue section. So it only takes one use to smell the difference. Overall, AquaCleanse is the most innovative shower filter out in the market today. It's no wonder why millions of people love their new shower experience after installing it. So I'm giving some social proof again, and also summarizing the previous two paragraphs. And again, it's pretty much the same thing throughout the whole advertorial. I'm just kind of going through it really quick. So next section, what makes AquaCleanse so special? And here I decided to kind of give it like an amateur feel, kind of make it seem like this is a review from an actual client. And I think the review and the picture go along pretty good together. So what makes it special? How does your product how does why does your product sets itself apart from all the different ones that are out there? Um, Here I didn't really give any specific facts. I pretty much just tried to sell in a way. So yeah, it really doesn't. It's not. I didn't give any concrete facts or anything. I more of just try to emphasize the benefits again, and try to give some social proof, as well as address the fact that it's super easy to install and you can filter out all the chemicals with little effort. And once again, I summarized, tried to summarize the previous paragraphs in this little sentence. That way, if somebody was scrolling down or was not trying to read all this, they could just read this little part and still understand what all this was about. So, is it worth purchasing? Here, I tried to have a kind of professional photo. Uh, I mean, yeah, just kind of like a professional photo, and then again, some social proof by providing a testimonial. So, is it worth purchasing? Like I said before, this part I feel like doesn't really need to be long, but you're pretty much just reassuring anybody that was on the edge of buying this product or thinking, I don't know, maybe it's not. Is it really worth it? So I'll read this section actually. Now that you know the dangers and benefits of showering with and without a shower filter, you can see how important it is to protect yourself and your family from chlorine's hidden side effects. Thanks to AquaCleanse, you can do so with very little effort. Remember, knowledge is potential power, taking action is real power. Then you are worth it. Your health and happiness are worth it, and most importantly, your family is worth it. So what I tried to do with this section is pretty much push them to, or pretty much just destroy any doubt that they might have had before getting to this section. Uh, to me, if they read this section at this point, they're ready. They're ready to buy. So, of course, you provide a call to action. And yeah, I mean, I think this section is pretty much self-explanatory. Um, yeah. So other than that, that is my thought process behind creating the AquaCleanse advertorial.